Cancel the women. So we've got one male athlete there.
Cancel.
The angle on this camera is making me crazy, so let's try that again.
I don't have James Henry just for one day. You were very rude to me.
Poof! Weird. There is a hell of a delay. So, I was going to talk about some stuff, but I have no idea what. And then this cat jumped in my lap, and I didn't know whether I should ignore him or not. He's really hard to ignore. Like, he's always kind of up in my face and trying to get my attention. And, yeah. So, hi, my name is Joshua, and I am a presenter for NAMI, Montgomery County of Maryland, but I also have spoken for Maryland on occasion. I do crisis intervention training, which is talking to a room full of police officers about my experience being arrested while mentally ill. Not the funnest thing in the world, but for me it is, because I absolutely love talking in public. It makes me really happy to be able to do that. It does. And so what I'm trying to do is get used to the idea of talking into a camera and not using my hands, which is also really bizarre because I'm one of those people who talks with his hands a lot. And I want to see if I can edit this video together into something interesting or not. It may end up being really bad, I'm not sure. But in any case, I'm gonna give it a try and see how it works out. And if I can do it with any precision or make it halfway decent, then maybe I'll go back to trying to upload things to a YouTube channel. Because it turns out I have an awful lot to say. I've just not been saying it.